Pets with amazing abilities. Hello everyone. People have been living side by side with animals since ancient times. We bring them home, we share their cute pictures on social media, they help us relax and often save our lives in literal and figurative sense. Today we will tell you some stories about rescued pets who returned the favor and helped people and even saved them from death and disease. Let's get it on. Number 1. Hobart the puppy. We all know that dogs have been man's best friend for many centuries. At home, you can play and have fun with these pets, but in law enforcement agencies, these animals have a wide range of responsibilities. Usually, police service dogs search for illegal substances and explosives, missing people, or evidence of a crime. Last year, 2 police officers from Los Angeles, Mercado and Tavara, were on regular patrol tour of the city when they suddenly noticed a tiny puppy on the street who stood completely alone in the middle of Hobart Boulevard. And although law enforcement officers usually look formidable, they felt very sorry for the puppy. Mercado and Tavara made an unexpected decision. They picked up the poor animal and put him in their patrol car and drove to the police station, and they also gave him a name in honor of the boulevard where he was found. Hobart immediately sat in the front seat next to Mercado as if it was his usual habit. Well, the Los Angeles Police Department posted these pictures and greeted a new fluffy member. It seems he'll make a great cop. Number 2. Zorro the dog. In the fall of 2018, a massive hurricane, Florence, brought massive devastation on the US southwestern states. The state of Ohio was almost unscathed by this natural phenomenon. However, people living there decided to help the neighbors. For example, the police chief of the village of Marblehead in Ohio, Officer Joy, decided to set an example for locals by sheltering a small chihuahua named Mizora. When his precinct during the period of natural disasters, the number of stray animals increased sharply. This is especially important, but a little puppy weighing about 2 kilograms was not just a pet of the policeman. The officer built a special seat for Zorro, went in the patrol car and took him for rides. The dog even had a special vest made by a local. The puppy was then enlisted on a special training program where he will learn to help the elderly who live in nursing homes. Number 3. Winston the lizard. At the end of last year, Australia was hit by ravaging fires that spiraled out of control in January. Dozens of people died and damage of incredible proportions was done to flora and fauna. It would seem, where would the lizard story fit in this? Argentine black and white targus is a species of lizard that lives in South America and grows to a huge size. Just imagine this reptile can weigh up to 7 kilograms. Winston, however, is a little slimmer. He weighs a couple of 100 kilograms, less than before. The lizard ended up with its current owner, Sarah Curie from Lansing, Michigan. Nobody cared much about the poor animal. The previous owners clearly did not care for Winston, and one day they threw him out onto the street in a cardboard box. Fortunately, the staff of the local zoo helped the poor animal, and in 2015, he found a new owner when a wave of fires raged across Australia. Sarah decided that she wanted to donate money to charity but did not know how to get it. Her designer mindset came to the rescue. The girl thought, what if I teach Winston how to paint? Sarah consulted a veterinarian, chose the right paint, and go down to business. The pet learned quickly, and in a couple of weeks, the couple managed to raise $2,000. Number 4. Picasso the pig. It seems that the legendary Pablo Picasso has a serious competitor.
Hey, Ham! Look! I'm Picasso!
I don't get it.
You uncultured swine!
Meet Picasso, a young pig who is now conquering the contemporary art. Market the paintings of the animal are worth thousands of dollars, and some of them even became prints for iconic products like the Swatch watch in 2016. Picasso was rescued from a slaughterhouse and now lives in South Africa, Cape Town. According to the owner, Joanne Lefson, no one ever forced the pig to paint. It happened quite naturally. One day the girl gave the animal some stuff to play with, and a couple of days later, the pig already created its expressionist masterpieces on a canvas. Picasso signs his creation with its piglet, and in between it, enjoys his favorite snack, caramel popcorn. In 2016, Picasso became the first animal to have its own art gallery. The paintings of this unusual artist cost from $500 to $4,000. All profit goes to the farm where the talented animal lives. Number 5. Cats of Pendleton. We have long known that cats aren't just cute, they also have great positive effect on our mental and physical health. Some researchers even claim that the frequency of their purring helps to heal wounds faster and restore bone fractures. So it's not surprising that some hospitals, nursing homes, and even prisons use these fluffy animals for therapy. For example, the prison in Middleton, Indiana began to take in stray cats back in 2015. At that time, there was a special program for mental health for the prisoners. The goal was for the prisoners to take care of all the cats that lived on the prison territory. The result was mutually beneficial. Animals were no longer left abandoned on the street, and the prisoners felt better in a company of fluffy friends. Number 6. Pumpkin the cat. This lovely cat called Pumpkin was not all that different from the other animals in the shelter in Tennessee. But one day, everything suddenly changed. A wild goose was hit by a car and brought into the shelter. The animal was in shock, and the vets were just trying to calm it down when Pumpkin appeared unexpectedly. It jumped on the table and sat close to the suffering bird. To the surprise of everyone, the goose immediately calmed and fell asleep. It turned out that this was just not a coincidence or a strange accident. Pumpkin showed excellent skills in caring for the other animals. Once it even took care of a small rat, even though usually rats do not get along with cats. The shelter staff finally realized that Pumpkin should be given a special job. Now he works there as a real nurse. First of all, the cat calms down the visiting animals that are scared of their surroundings and strain. Number 7. Oliver the donkey. You have probably heard of therapy dogs and therapy cats, but could you imagine that even a donkey can help people cope with stress? This animal even has a name, Oliver, and this donkey helps people to fight anxiety. A girl named Stephanie bought this donkey at a livestock market in Billings, Montana, a few years ago. Soon after Oliver had been moved into the new house, the owner noticed that there is something unusual about him. It turns out that the animal could somehow calm people down, as if having a special kind of therapeutic power. Now the donkey travels around the state helping people in difficult situations. For example, he once became a major star during the exams at Montana State University. The nervous students could pat and hug the kind animal to calm down a little before taking the exams. Number 8. Shelby the dog. Have you ever watched the touching movie A Dog's Way Home? It has a heartwarming plot, but the real story of the dog who plays Bella is even more amazing. Sometime before the shooting, this dog Shelby was found in the trash on the territory of the state of Tennessee, who luckily was taken to a local shelter where he remained waiting for new owners. That's when the Hollywood production team came to the rescue. They were looking for a star for their new movie and wanted it to be a stray dog. And his breed was supposed to be a pit bull mix, just like in the book the movie was based on. All this led to the producers to the very shelter, and the moment they looked into the eyes, it became clear that this was the perfect candidate for the role. However, Shelby wasn't unemployed for long after the film was shot. It turns out that the animal also had exceptional therapeutic skills. After some training, the dog was taken to hospitals and other institutions to help children, the elderly, and the seriously ill. Number 9. Gavel the dog. Dogs are truly an integral part of the police force, but alas, not every dog can become a police officer. To work in law enforcement, animals have to be trained for a long time, and they are pre-selected according to many criteria. This German Shepherd Gavel began training for police work when he was just a small puppy. But unfortunately, the dog never managed to become the new Inspector Rex. It was kicked out of the Police Dog Academy for being too nice. The owner of the dog, however, is the Australian state of Queensland, Paul de Jersey. And he, of course, is not going to leave his friend behind or without a prestigious title. So little Gavel was assigned to another specifically created position of the vice-regal dog. His duties include meeting guests at the governor's residence and participating in ceremonies. Gavel even has a special dress uniform for this. Number 10. Geese police. Dogs are of course cool, but the police in the Chinese Shenzhen have found an interesting alternative. A few years ago, local law enforcement agencies reported that they were employing ordinary geese. Naturally, this immediately resulted in a flurry of ridicule around the world. But the idea is actually not as weird as it might seem at first glance. The thing is that these domestic birds are extremely attentive and have very good hearing. They are also brave and ready to attack anyone who breaks into a house. And by the way, the Chinese were not the first to use these geese for police and military purposes. For example, the United States Army used hundreds of birds to guard its facilities, even in West Germany during the Cold War. And some historians even believe that it was the geese that helped the Romans deal with the Galaic invasions. And that is all we have for you today. Until next time, talkers.